Hello and welcome to Profiles. I'm your host, Paulette Payne. Look, thank you guys so much for taking time out of your schedule this evening to join me for this very special episode of Profiles. What many of you do not know is November ends season one of Profiles, and I couldn't be more grateful for the support that you've shown over these last several months. And I thought, what better way to end Profiles than in the month of gratitude, the month of great Thanksgiving? So I hope you enjoy these last few episodes that I'll be bringing you this month. And of course, come back next season for even more great episodes. I'm joined tonight by a really special young lady. Not only is she a friend, but she is a songstress. She's a mom, a wife, a community activist, uh, all things DIY. She wears multiple hats, and she's here to talk to us tonight about gratitude, the song of her heart. But before we get to Gabby McGee, I want to make sure you know that as you watch tonight, feel free to like and share this page. If you find value in the content, and tell your friends, tell your network to come on over to this side of the world to check out Profiles and to hear the amazing stories that we bring you each Saturday. So definitely do that. And if you have any questions during the episode, feel free to drop them below and we'll get to them as soon as possible. And so without further ado, my guest, Gabby McGee. Hello, Gabby. You'll want to unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. You got it?
Yes.
There we go.
Yes,
Gabby,
I do.
look, it's been a long time coming.
It really has. It's so good to see you in real time.
You too, Gabby. You too. Now I'm trying to figure out why we have an echo. Let's see. I tell you, this StreamYard does not want me to be great tonight, but that's all right. We're gonna make it do what it do.
Great is good. It's a great day.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And Gabby, we were talking a lot in the virtual studio or in the virtual green room. And I just want to carry that conversation on for the viewers. But before we do that, I want you to tell us a little bit about Gabby McGee. I know you as Mississippi's daughter, so, maybe we should start there.
Yes, I am a Mississippi girl, born and bred in Greenville, Mississippi, the heart of the Mississippi Delta. Um, we were talking earlier about just my family and all that I learned growing up in Mississippi. I was raised by my mom. She was a single mom, and she had me when she was at the ripe old age of 19. And the older I get, the more I am just in awe of how amazing she is. Like, I could not have done the things that she did at the age that she was, just taking on so much. And we lived with my grandparents, my mama and my papa, and they took me to church. They taught me about the Lord. My grandmother made sure that I knew Jesus as my savior and that I played the piano for Sunday school. And so that was the beginning of my music career, my love for music, and just creating and making a joyful noise. All of that happened in Greenville, Mississippi.
Yeah, yeah. You can never deny your roots. It's the roots, or yeah, it's the roots that give strength to the trunk. And then the trunk allows the branches to expand. And then the leaves grow. So you come from good roots.
Amen.
That means your trunk is strong. And then the fruit that you produce will multiply, and it'll be a blessing to your family and to those around you. And you've been a blessing to me, Gabby.
Oh
You truly
man,
have.
you have been such a blessing to me. I just thank God for you and our friendship and just how it doesn't matter how much time goes by, how long it's been that we haven't talked.
Yeah.
As soon as we do, it's just like it's right back. And I just bless the Lord for you. I'm so grateful and just
Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you for this
Yes.
opportunity to look nice tonight. Tonight.
My pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure. Now, Gabby, before we go any further, let me ask you if you have a cell phone nearby, turn the volume down or mute it. I'm thinking
Okay.
maybe that's why we have a little bit of feedback. Um, let's see, all my devices. If we could get a little nod from the
Better.
audience, if you could let us know that you hear us clearly, just say loud and clear, so we'll know. Otherwise, we'll go on and keep on with this conversation.
I'm
So,
sorry about
Gabby,
that.
of
Is
course,
that
we
better?
would
I
be
hope it
remiss.
is.
Say that again.
I said, I hope that's better.
Yes. Okay, so it must be my end. Hold on. Let me go on and get out of here. Let's see. I think that it might have been my fault. But anywho, so Gabby, we were talking at the beginning, and I'd be remiss if I didn't at least touch on it tonight. Um, the tide is turning. We
Yes.
we got some news today that uh, blessed a lot of hearts. You know,
We got some
um,
good news today.
yeah,
Good
yeah,
news today. I am just so grateful. And we were saying how this is a testament to what we can do
yeah,
when we are together and we're
yeah.
united and we're on one accord
Hmm.
and we see something that we don't want for our
Hmm.
families, for our future,
Hmm.
and we make it not.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Yep,
I'm
yep.
so grateful. I'm just really excited. I know that there's still so much work ahead, but I feel energized. And
Yeah.
I pray that everyone else does too in this country, just
Yeah.
excited and energized. And, you know, I believe that the Lord has given us a second wind,
Hmm. Hmm.
with this victory.
Right, right. And we are so much stronger together. All of us on either side, on either spectrum, whatever you call it, however you categorize yourself, we are stronger together because we are all one people. We are all
Absolutely.
God's children. Every last one of
Yes.
us. So
Yes.
we must move forward in that vein. And for those that don't believe that, that's fine. We love you still because we are
Yes.
still connected. We are still one,
Absolutely.
regardless of those things that might try to separate us. So, yeah, good news, good day. We move forward in faith, and we express gratitude, and that is the song of your heart for sure, Gabby. Um,
Absolutely.
we were talking about how this season is one of the worst seasons for you. Can you talk to us about that?
It really has been. And it's like, how you say you've already been in the war
Mhm.
and then you come off the battlefield only to have to fight some more. That's how coming into 2020 felt for me. I had taken a break from performing and traveling, touring, doing music after the birth of our last baby, Ella. Ella Grace
Hey,
Kelly.
Ella.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother show, that little that little one. But I took a break just under the guidance of the Holy Spirit to just take some time to enjoy what I knew would be my final pregnancy, to take some time to enjoy my daughter, the new baby, spend some time, much needed time with my teenagers,
Mhm.
and just rekindle a connection and a closeness with my husband. And so I was doing all of that mental work, and with very high hopes of coming out of that season into getting back to performing and traveling and doing what I love. And of course, while I was away, our finances, they took a little hit,
Mhm.
because it was just then my husband who was working and carrying us. And we we love very much to be a team and to work together and to bring into our house as a unit. And so he was missing me, working and contributing. Some of the things that we were trying to move forward with, we couldn't do. So I was looking forward to getting back to work. And then I couldn't. With COVID and everything that happened. So, it was discouraging in the beginning,
Mhm.
but I thank God for strategy. Yeah.
For strategy, you said?
Yes, I thank God for strategy.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
God gave me a strategy, and it
Yeah.
was something that, you know, I wanted to do, but because I was touring and working, doing music for television shows and all the things that I was doing, I had never had the opportunity
Mhm.
to really like delve into it.
Mhm.
And it was cosmetics, lipsticks, accessories.
Yeah.
The Lord gave me a business idea, and I'm so glad that I listened. I'm
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
grateful for that,
Yeah.
because had I not, there would not have been income for our
Mhm.
family when
Mhm.
everything
Mhm.
halted.
Yeah. Gabby, this is the perfect example of so many households around America when COVID hit. It hit the independent artist. It hit, the small hometown store. It hit people in corporate America. It hit people in nonprofit. It hit our country. It was
Mhm.
quite, and still is quite devastating for so many. But the beauty of this moment, God rest the souls of all those who perished, and may He strengthen the families who are now without those loved ones. Um, on the other side of this, it created opportunity for people, like you said, to delve into things and areas that they've always wanted to or never knew they wanted to, finding out new talents and skills, but it gave so many the opportunity to branch out. The branch from the trunk, they've branched out. And for
There
some,
you
it's been
go.
quite lucrative. For some, it's growing to be lucrative. The point is, He's allowed people to step out and step out on
Yes.
their gift and step out on faith in Him. And that's beautiful. Talk to us a little bit about this venture, about this strategy.
Well, it is an accessories boutique. I've always wanted to have a place where I could shop and find. I love, as a performer, getting ready for the show,
Yeah.
getting the outfit together, getting the makeup, getting all of the things that you're going to wear while you're on stage. And when I would travel, it was always like the best thing for me to go find a boutique, to find something unique and special, that I could take back home, to remember the trip or the performance. And so I always wanted to open a shop of my own. And when I first moved to Atlanta, while I was in college, I worked at a boutique, a consignment shop. And I loved, being able to work with women, and they would bring in their goodies and we
Mhm.
would price them and display them. I loved everything about that. And of course, as a jazz singer, when I saw myself as a child, when I knew that I wanted to be a jazz singer, I always
Mhm.
said that I would wear red lipstick
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
because it was rather taboo. My grandmother did, you could wear some gloss, but you couldn't wear no red. And so I
Yes,
said, when
ma'am.
I get big, I'm going to be a jazz singer and I'm going to wear red lipstick.
Mhm.
So to
Mhm.
be able to develop my own line of lipsticks and lip products, I mean, this was something that the Lord put on my heart like 2 years ago, and I
Yeah.
didn't know that it was in preparation,
Mhm.
for now, for what
Yeah.
was to come.
Yeah.
And so I obeyed, and I started pulling together a list of manufacturers, people who could help me to develop the products, to put into the products, what would be beneficial, healthy,
Mhm.
of course, good for the environment,
Mhm.
good for animals, just
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
And I developed a line of lipsticks and balms and lip glosses and mats that I'm super proud of,
That's
and
awesome.
accessories that,
Mhm. Mhm.
you can wear when you're doing a live
Yeah.
or when you're not.
Yeah.
I wanted, things that bring joy, that make women feel good,
Mhm.
no matter where you are, who you are, what you're doing. And
Mhm.
so this was the saving grace for me and my family, to be able to launch Bloom and the Bee last year around this time, and to have it work for us through a pandemic. And it just, God is so good, and his strategy and his plans are so perfect. And I get emotional because I just I'm so grateful that he thought of me and he saw ahead to
Mhm.
say, this is coming. Let me
Mhm.
prepare her.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
just
His perfect will. My sister turned me on to this saying, his will, his way, his time. And it's the
Mhm.
time part that's so critical to this piece. Because if it's the
Yes.
wrong time, it's not going to work. So
Yes.
all of those pillars have to be in alignment for the fruit to flow, you know? And it's just so amazing to see the joy on your face and the joy that's exuding from your heart. And it's this level of gratitude that if it were produced any other way, I don't know if the gratitude, the strength and the power of the gratitude would be the same. Um, you were talking,
Absolutely.
you were talking about your grandmother and how you can't wear red lip, baby. I understand she passed recently. God bless
She
her
did. We
soul.
lost Mama in September, on
Mhm.
September the 16th, around
Mhm.
11 o'clock. She left us to go and live in eternity
Mhm.
with Jesus, her Lord. And I just, that right there, just knowing that she is with the Lord, that she introduced to all of us,
Mhm.
who she made sure that we knew him and that we knew how to walk with him, that she is safe in his arms. It's just, it helps. It helps so much,
Mhm.
because she was just so big in my life. My grandparents are the pillars of me. They hold me up. Everything that I know, I was telling you, I know how to go fishing, how to catch a fish, how to clean them, how to fillet them, how to
Mhm.
fry them, and how to freeze them for later, so we can have food. Like, there are things that I know that I'm teaching my children that have been instrumental
Mhm.
in this season, like how to care for yourself with little, how to maximize your resources. My grandmother
Mhm.
used to always say, it don't matter if you got 1 penny or $1 million. If you don't know what to do with it, you ain't got nothing no way.
That's right.
So it's just her wisdom and all of the things that she taught me. It's just, it's such a blessing and a gift, and I
Mhm.
find such wealth in being able to see the things that she instilled in me, um, rising up and growing up in my
Mhm.
children and
Yeah.
in my relationship with my husband.
Mhm.
She would always say, always carry yourself like a lady. you know, Carry yourself like a lady. And she would say things like, don't be sitting around the house looking all bad. Fix yourself up.
Right.
Spruce yourself, and don't go out without, proper pearls
Mhm.
when you're
Mhm.
going to something
Yeah.
that is considered prestigious,
Mhm.
and or a job interview. Pearls. We
Mhm.
have lots of pearls at Bloom in the Bee. Freshwater pearls, all the
Mm.
pearls, because
Mhm.
pearls are necessary for
Yes,
life
indeed.
and living. And I learned that from my grandmother. If you want to be
Mhm.
fancy, put on some pearls.
But you know it's the truth though. It will take any outfit and take it up several notches.
Elevate.
Yes, it does.
She didn't know that that's what she was saying, but
Right.
she did. She was such just she was simple but so profound. Just such an amazing woman and just such a gift to our family. And it was hard to lose her in this time because I was telling our children when we went, like, I wanted them to hug her sisters and brothers who are their great, great aunts and uncles, who, also throughout life taught me so much. And we have had our elders who were present to honor her, and we couldn't get close to them because we had to keep them safe.
Right.
And they wanted to keep themselves safe because a lot of them knew, with pre-existing health conditions, their age. And it was just so difficult to be in such a moment where it requires the embracing of your elders and your family, and you can't.
Right. And COVID has it's and I don't necessarily want to talk about COVID in every show, but it's the thread that is strung through every story right now. Every life has been impacted by this, and it has changed the way we do everything. I was grocery shopping the other day because look, I don't leave the house unless I got to do the essential stuff. And that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we can't go and celebrate in the streets after hearing the wonderful news today, or whatever. Go to a concert, you perform. We can't do that right now, and so I limit everything to the essentials. But I trust Gabby. I know that there's going to come a time when we don't want anyone else to pass, but that is the road we all must travel. But there will come a time when we can celebrate that life in true fashion,
Absolutely.
in true fashion,
Absolutely.
and see you
Absolutely.
perform in all of your glory, you know. Um,
Absolutely.
but let me ask you this: how do you, in the midst of this, how do you find time to even consider gratitude, consider being grateful in the midst of the trying times?
It's important to take that time. I'm sorry about that.
That's
It's
okay.
important to take um, time in the morning, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, time in the shower,
Mhm.
you know, time walking to the mailbox, uh, the time it takes to cook some rice, you know, those are the things. And I've learned that in being a mother,
Mhm.
because there were, there's not time. I would sometimes mourn my space and my free time.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I had developed a routine where I would wake up in the morning and spend time with the Lord and sing and, just have my time in his presence. Well, when you got a baby that requires your milk and teens that require your supervision and things, you don't have time.
Mhm.
So I had to develop an understanding that, well, while I'm nursing the baby, that's time to thank God and to talk to him. While I'm
Mhm.
walking to the mailbox, that's time
Mhm.
to talk to the Lord and tell him thank you. You know,
Right. Oh dear, we're freezing up a little bit. I think it might be the airplanes flying above. Um, oh, can you hear me, Gabby? Gabby, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, cool.
I
All
can
right.
hear you.
Okay, great. So we were talking about going to the mailbox and all of these, reprogramming yourself and
Yes.
realizing that you can take advantage of these pockets of time, even though you might be just a little busy. You might be feeding Ella, but you can still, in the midst of that, you know, find time to express that gratitude.
And I started to teach her as she got older, like, this
Mhm.
is mommy's time. I'm gonna sing, to the Lord. Do you want to sing with me? Let's take some time to tell God thank you. And I can remember she was not even a year old. and going to the doctor, and they'd say things like, well, how many words does she know? And she'd be like, hallelujah. So it's like,
It is the highest
these are the,
praise.
right. She knows how to say thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
And so it's just in those moments, teaching my children, it's important to take some time to tell God thank you and to change your perspective
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
on gratitude.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I learned by having teenagers,
Mhm,
you don't always feel like you want to say thank you. This day
yeah.
didn't go well. I don't feel
Mhm,
like I want to say thank you.
mhm,
Don't think
mhm.
about the things that you don't want.
Right.
Thank God for the things that you have that you do want. You want to keep
Yeah.
breathing.
Mhm,
You want to keep
mhm,
eating. You want
mhm,
to keep living in your home. So
mhm.
you think on those things that are lovely, and those are the things that you thank God for.
Yeah. You know, and you saying that it made me think about this. Gratitude removes the ego because the ego feels like and believes that I can do it all. I can do it all.
Mm.
But gratitude causes us to be vulnerable and causes us to realize that no, I can't do it by myself. And because I can't do it by myself, I have to express I have to put aside the natural man or put aside that ego and give thanks for those things that I cannot do alone. And it's
Absolutely.
in those things that I cannot do alone where the blessing lies, you know?
Hmm.
Um, so it's an acknowledgement. It's a relinquishing of our ego.
Yes, it really is. And when you stop to think like, no, I didn't like what happened to me, or if it's a negative thing, no, I didn't like that. But what am I'm grateful that I can still say that I don't like it. Or I'm grateful that I can, take the time to to get over my dislike. It's just it's
All right,
there's
there we
so
go.
many things.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
always, and I teach my children, there's always something to say thank you for.
Always. Yes. Yep. Yep.
Always.
And it's so beautiful that you're teaching your children this, Gabby, because they are going to be adults. They're going to have to survive in life. And I just really believe, and I'm sure you do too, gratitude opens you up for so much more. You
Oh
give thanks
yeah.
for what you have,
Yes.
and it opens you up to receive all that the Father has. So long, again, it has to be in those pillars, His will, His way, and His time, but it's the expression, thank you. So that's a beautiful thing. Talk to us a little bit about what you hope for moving into 2021. What is your ideal scenario in terms of your performance schedule, in terms of your business, in terms just your career in general? Where do you foresee um, this new adventure taking you in 2021?
Well, my prayer is that I will hold on to all that I've learned
Mhm.
in this season. I don't want to go back to just the way it was.
Mhm. Yeah.
I want this better that
Mhm.
I've been able to experience.
Mhm.
Um, just being able to take the time to be with my husband, to really be with him.
Mhm.
Like it's and it's been such a long time to just because of the social distancing and all of our dating is
Mhm.
we're going to go for a walk around the block. You guys watch the little one. And we get to walk and
Yeah.
hold hands and you know
Yeah.
and hi, say hi to our neighbors, and they
Mhm.
know us now, like know us.
Yeah.
Not just like, oh yeah, I've seen them. Like
Mhm.
I don't want to lose that. I
Yeah.
don't want to lose that. And so
Yeah.
I want to definitely, because there are still some places that I have yet to perform that my heart, those are the dreams and the visions in my heart. I want to get back to that, but I also want to do more in my own community, in my own space. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we have such a big yard.
Mm-hmm.
We can have concerts in our yard. You know, we can invite our neighbors. I don't want to lose this closeness and
Mm-hmm.
community
Mm-hmm.
that we've been able to develop in quarantine.
Yeah. And isn't it ironic that in quarantine, in this isolation of sorts, there has been, in some cases, a return to humanity, a
Yes.
return to the goodness of people. Of course, there's a flip side to that. Prayerfully, in time that will change. But in terms of this return to humanity and quarantine and isolation, that's just such an odd but beautiful, juxtaposition. Um, what do you hope for your children? Because our children are experiencing so much in this time. Uh,
Yes.
have they been? Um, how have they been impacted? And what is your hope for them?
It's been so many teaching moments, Paulette. Just we have a athlete, we have a scientist, and we have an Ella. And Ella is everything and all the things she wants to be. But
Right.
our athlete, Evelyn, our middle child, who's my favorite Evelyn. I will not say that she's my favorite, but she's my favorite
Right.
Evelyn.
Uh,
She she was just on the brink of starting her tennis and
mm,
having a vision for her path in
yeah.
tennis. And she wants to become a professional. She was so set on playing this year in eighth grade, her last year in middle school, and then being prepared to play in high school so that she could be on track for tennis teams in college and hopefully some scholarships. And she was so disappointed when her tournaments were canceled and she couldn't even meet with her tennis coach to
Mhm.
train. And it became going outside to hit against the house, to hit against the house. And I prayed a lot about that because I didn't want her to become so discouraged that she gave up on the vision that
Mhm.
she had for herself. So it was teaching her to think the game now.
Yeah.
If you can't play the game, let's
Mhm.
watch a bunch of videos. Let's
Mhm.
see what Coco Golf is doing
Yeah.
on her Instagram. Let's follow her. I introduced her to Layla Ali
Mhm.
during this time, talking about just as an athlete, what she's been able to do for her community, for her father's legacy, developing cookware,
Mhm. Yeah.
just so many things. I just encouraged her to think, what could tennis help her to do for the world?
Mhm.
And as you know, even though she couldn't develop, her skills, she could think
Right.
about how she could use tennis to influence and change the world around her.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
the same for Elijah. He's always said that he wanted to be a doctor, but now he wants to help to develop cures for disease. He wants to
Mhm.
lean more into science. And so it's just been changing our thoughts
Right.
about what's happening.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, not saying, "Oh, I have to be in the house."
Mhm.
Well,
Mhm.
I get to be in the house. I get to have good Wi-Fi. You,
Right.
you know, I get to have food.
Mhm. Mhm.
I get
Yeah.
to be with my family.
Mhm. Mhm.
Changing the perspective. So
That's
I
right.
pray that they will carry this, as things pick back up, and as Evelyn now gets to the tournaments and playing, that she can, think clearly about her future, because she's had time to make a plan.
Mhm.
And the
Mhm.
same for Elijah, and the same for Ella.
Yeah. Miss Ella, I tell you, she is all things, everything wonderful and special. She really is. She truly is.
Oh my. Oh my. And it's I've just discovered that the babies that are born after 2015, they different. They're real different.
And like you said, that's a whole nother show. We're gonna have to have Ella back.
A whole nother show. A whole nother show.
Oh goodness. Gabby, I want to touch on this, and we didn't talk about this in advance, and um, I hope you're okay with me asking you about this. But how did your sister, or what did your sister teach you about gratitude?
Lidora taught me to be thankful for what I have. She would say this thing where, in her way, it was saying, look at you with your able bodied self, you know? And it was like, you do it because you can. You can. And that was her speaking from, some of the places of her limits, because of cancer and because of the things that cancer did to her body, to her limbs, and it's like, look at you with your able-bodied self. You
Mhm.
can do anything. Be 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 glad about that.
Yeah.
Be glad about that. And turn that gratitude into a plan,
Yeah.
for how can I use my good hands? How can
Mhm.
I use my good voice? How can
Mhm.
I use my good legs? How can I use this body, this life that I'm grateful for? How can I use it to make
Mhm.
a difference?
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
So
And we
that's what I
remember.
learned about Ladora, and she is with Ladora Senior. They are together now,
That's right.
and
That's
that's
right.
another thing. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. And when we have our loved ones that have gone on before us, we truly have angels watching over
Yes.
us. They're not here in the physical, but their spirit, I tell you, it's strong. It's strong. And I share this with people sometimes, and some folks look at me crazy, like I'm real loony, but there are times when you are visited by those loved ones. If you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, and you're not too creeped out about it, uh, they will visit you. They will visit you. And I trust that Ladora, your sister and grandmother, are with you and with
They're
your
with
baby.
me. Do you know, I had a dream a couple of weeks after Keisha. That's what we called her, Keisha,
Hmm.
in our family. After she passed away, I was actually, it was a couple of months, I was actually about to have surgery,
Hmm.
for fibroids and some
Hmm.
stuff. And I was praying, before going to sleep. And I had a dream that Ladora and I were together and we were shopping. And that's what we do. That's what we did. We were shopping, and then we saw this place that had live music, and we wanted to get French fries from there.
Hmm.
So we went into this place. They were jamming. We sat down at our table. We had so many French fries on our table, and she was saying, "I've got to go." And I was just like, okay, well, I'll walk you out. I was like, but you should stay. And she's like, I've got to go. And so she walked out of the building, and there was a limousine waiting for her. And we were standing, and I was like, well, you can stay. I was like, because I think I might sing and we could sing. And she was like, no. She's like, I have to go, but you stay. And she got into the limousine and she drove away. And I woke up with this feeling that I have to stay, but I'll stay with her in my heart, with, the lessons that her life taught me. And I'll continue to, do the things that brought us joy and tell her story and share her, with my children, with their children
Hmm.
will know. of
Yeah.
her. And um, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
That's the
That's that
beauty of
blessed assurance.
yeah.
You know?
Yes, it is. That's what
Mm-hmm.
it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I saw, and we'll end shortly. I saw this meme uh, a couple of months ago, and the person who posted it had a loved one, someone very special to him, passed away. And the meme basically says, you know, our loved ones, they're not gone, they're just in the next room. They're just in the next
Mm-hmm.
room, you know. And so we can tap into that. We can knock on that door sometimes, you know, when we need that connection, and that is beautiful. That's a beautiful assurance, you know,
Yes.
that it's a beautiful assurance. Gabby, so you know you're a beautiful jazz vocalist. You are all everything at the same time. What song? What is that song that magnifies in you a level of gratitude that other songs can't do?
it it was a song that was given to me, and it's not a song that anyone else knows except for
Uh-huh,
me and Jesus.
uh-huh.
And I have this song that I sing. It was given to me while I was pregnant with Ella.
Mm,
And when I would start to feel weary in my body, just the weight of having to be able to give birth and carry her, it was hard on me. It was a hard pregnancy. And so the Lord gave me this song, and it's just so simple. It says, I receive your love for me.
mm,
Oh, I receive your love for me. Oh, Jesus, 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 your love is healing me. Oh, your love is healing me. Oh, your love is healing me. Oh, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And it's just to receive is also a
yeah,
form of gratitude.
that's
To be
right.
able to say, I will
Yeah,
receive this. Thank
yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I would
That's
just sing that over myself. I
mm-hmm.
receive your love for me. I receive it. Your love is healing me.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for this love, this healing love that covers all, that keeps me, and that has kept me, and that will continue to keep me.
Yeah. And it inspires hope, Gabby, because there's so many people right now that prior to today had lost hope. You know, they had
Yes.
lost hope in a system, in a government, in life, just in life. You know, um, and to say that you receive, that is the undercurrent of hope. And my hope and my prayer is that your story, your journey, your expressions of faith will inspire hope in those who watch. It's so, you know, hope allows us to make it to the next day, or make it to the next minute, the next second, the next hour. And I hope that those who watch and hear you, not just on this interview, but on your social, when they see and hear you perform, because you're gonna get back on the stage. You're gonna get back on
Amen. Glory to
stage.
God.
Yes, you're gonna get back on
Hallelujah.
stage because your work there is not done. You know,
Amen.
I'm a strong believer that once the work is done, you got to move on to the next assignment, but your work isn't done
Mm-hmm.
there yet. So um, I pray that whenever people see you, they see hope and they feel Him and they see Him. Um, I'm just so grateful for this time that we've had. I
Me
truly
too.
am. And,
Me
and
too.
and before we go, I want you to tell us, where can we find your boutique and where can we find your music?
You can find my boutique. It's called Bloom and the Bee, and it is a take on my sister and me. I am the bloom and she is the bee.
Oh.
Ladora B. That's what I called her. So you can find us at www.bloomingthebee.com, and we are lipsticks and accessories.
Mhm.
And it's never a bad idea
Yeah.
to get
That's right.
lipsticks and accessories. And you can find my music, all things Gabby McGee, at www.gabbymcgee.com. That's GABBIEMCGEE.com. And all of my social and all of that stuff. I'm back on Facebook. I'm on
Yay.
Instagram. I took 4 years
I said,
away.
where's Gabby?
I took 4 years away. It was good, but I'm happy. I'm so happy to be
Mhm.
back.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
all of the stuff, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all of that can be connected through www.gabbymcgee.com.
Awesome, awesome. And we'll be sure to make sure that it's included in the description of this broadcast as well. Gabby, it's
Oh,
been a
Paula,
joy.
thank
It's been a
you.
joy, girl.
This has been fun.
Yes,
So
ma'am. And
you know my secret song, everybody. So sing that over yourself when you're
yes, ma'am.
feeling like,
And you
just
too.
receive his love. Receive it.
That's
It's
right.
available to you. It's there for you. All you got to do is say, I receive it, and it'll flow.
Yeah.
And
And
keep
you can feel it. You can feel it.
yes,
You know?
because he's a
Yes,
keeper.
ma'am. Yes, he is.
Like my
Oh, yes,
grandma say,
he is.
hold on to the vine and don't let go.
And we go, yeah, keep holding on.
Keep holding on.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining me for Gratitude, the Song of My Heart with Miss Gabby McGee. This is not the first, well, it is the first, but it's not going to be the last time you see her on Profiles. It's been a great conversation. And make sure you come back next Saturday, same time, same location, for we're talking about all things small business, just in time for Small Business Saturday. So make sure you tune in then, and keep posted. Come back to this page for updates, all things profiles. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Good night.